See, Sarah said she was number 4 in the queue. Hi, guys. Hi, I forgot to say something. Hi, we are live. We have a special guest here, Corey. Hi. Very excited to have
Welcome
you back. Yeah, we are waiting for people to join. I hope everybody's doing okay. It has been very sunny here today for the first time in weeks.
Here too.
Oh, nice.
It's been raining for 2 weeks here.
It
They
was
said
nice
we got
couple of days,
raining
but
or
it got
snowing the
depressing,
entire
today.
We got 36 hours of sunlight in January in Berlin or in Germany. I don't know. It's very sad. Hi, Laura. Hi. I hope you enjoyed the sun.
Talon, and they said today was like negative 15 or something crazy.
Oh my god!
It was snowing pretty hard, and when I left, and my friend who's from Estonia was saying that he basically hadn't seen the sun in 2 months, and I believed it being there.
When I was there in November, it was pitch black at like 4:30 p.m. So I could only imagine what it looks like in January.
Sarah's here. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, we got to Switzerland, and everything was like beautiful, like completely like cloudless, sunny skies. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, people are joining. I think we can start. Do we feel like starting? Yes.
General impressions of the event.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, we do want to start by acknowledging the event of last week. I think before we start talking about Europeans, all of us watched the competition with a very heavy heart, and we want to take a moment to honor the victims of the fatal plane crash in DC last week. It just, I think it was so difficult for us to continue our tweets and our conversations the same way, because everybody was thinking about it in the back of their heads, and it's just devastating to think about all the lives that were lost. And we wanted to take a moment.
So many young skaters as well, and their families. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of us also watched the live stream. Yes, Anna?
Yeah, so a lot of the skaters wanted to, use a little bit of time in the mix zone to, express that they were also thinking about the victims, thinking about their families, and there was some feeling of like, well, this puts what I'm doing in perspective, but also makes me very grateful to be here doing what I'm doing. And so, I would say that, mostly the event went on, but it went on with that sense of like, this is what our community does, so we're here doing it together.
I think it was quite beautiful to see how small world skating was. I think like I'm here in Italy, and we all like took such a moment last week, and it was the first thing I was on the phone with so many of the competitors in Europeans. I was on the phone with them the day after. We all woke up, and it was the first thing anyone could think about before the competition, before what anyone had to do about it. Was like, oh my God. So that completely like stopped everyone's world, rightfully so. And it was beautiful though to see how many people took time to talk about it. I know I certainly had my moments with it. I obviously I don't know everyone on the list, but I do know Max very well. We got to spend a week together in Bangkok, and I still don't even know how to brace the subject. I could only imagine, but
I mean, I only knew a few of these people to nod to in the rink, because I train in Boston occasionally, and but I remember seeing Spencer and Gina like skating in various local shows and that kind of thing. And so it's like, it does feel very, even in that slight connection, still feels very strong. So for people who who knew these skaters in coaches in deeper ways. Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, in the description of this live stream, we have the US Figure Skating Family Support Fund link, the DC plane crash GoFundMe list of all the GoFundMes they have that have been verified, and the GoFundMe for Max specifically. So yeah, if anybody wants to donate.
And there's no good way to transition to the next slide now, but we will be talking about the Europeans now.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we will start with the pairs event. This is the podium. In first place, Minerva Hase and Nikita Volodin. In second place, Sarah Conti and Nicolo Macci. And in third place, Anastasia Metelkina and Luca Berulava. Congratulations.
This was
in many ways
kind of
a very
exciting.
expected podium, in my opinion. Perhaps not the order, but to me, I think if anyone was like going to talk about this pair event, those were the three names that we were all thinking about going into this. We just didn't really know the order. Obviously, there could have been an upset here and there, but to me, I think it was very expected how it kind of all happened. The frees, I think, were better than the short. The short, I think, was a really rather disappointing event for the skaters as well. Not very many clean performances. But everyone looks like it's January and Worlds is in March. I think that's how it looked.
Yeah.
I felt like, I don't disagree with any of that. I felt like there were some, again, lots of kind of harsh calls and levels and lots of things throughout the pairs event, like with all of the events. But I would say that the end of the free skate, maybe the last four skaters, was pretty exciting. Like there was this sense of like, okay, everyone's done pretty well, but everyone's made some mistakes. So it really could come down to whether Minerva lands that last throw in the free skate. And like when she did, then we knew that they had it. But it was like, not every event do you actually feel like you're down to the final major element in the final performance. And this one, had that feeling.
Those were some of her best work. And even the ones in the warm-up, I was like, wow, she's really got it. I want to take a second to shout out and like kind of like call out because I felt like, so it was the debut for the Icelandic pair team.
Yes.
Who trained here in Berlin. And to me, I think they did a great job. I think that they unfortunately were the recipients of Small Federation first big event. Because
and
if
first
you
skaters out
events, those elements in isolation, and for example, the triple toes, and you compare the triple toe to the triple sow performed by Nikita and Minerva, you would undeniably say that the toes were performed better, and they received 0 GOE. And so I just think that like, to me, the pair event was very clearly like, and we're starting in the first group and then the second group and then the third, and it just kept. It almost felt like an ice dance event in a way. But I just wanted to shout out because I thought they did a great job. They haven't been skating together for a while. And I hope that they can get the World Mint because I think that they have a lot of great qualities.
Yep.
I'm really excited for them. I thought they did great here and they were amazing when I saw them over the summer and they'd only been together. I think she'd only been doing pairs for like maybe 2 months.
She's very new. Which is crazy that she's able to do a triple twist already because to me it's like that's not an element if I'm not a pair girl.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would be able to acquire that for like a couple years. Like that would take me like that's a very nervous element to me.
Yeah, we just published.
Yeah, I don't think Audrey Shin's competing one yet. So like
Lois, can you repeat that?
I don't think Audrey Shin and Balash have one yet. So, I mean, obviously she's new to pairs as well. So
yeah. Does anyone know what was going on with the body KT kinesio tape of the Georgian pair team in that short program? Because that was just like what, like an accessory?
So much tape.
None of it was on. It was just flowing in the wind. I was like, who applied that? Like that physio's fired. And it was so jarring to me. Like the whole short, I was like, this is not doing anything.
All it does is just make the audience concerned.
I know. At first I was like, oh, she's really hurt. And then I was like, oh, but that's not doing anything to help. I do love that short. I think it's one of the better pair shorts of the season. I just think it's fun. It's campy. It does the job because I think a lot of the pair shorts can feel very mechanical. The free, on the other hand, completely lost. Yeah. No clue what that's about. All over the place. But phenomenal elements. Like they really just pull some stuff out. Like to me, their elements, Nikita and Minerva's elements, and then like the Italians' passion. Like if we like all throw that all together, we've got like quite a pair team.
And I know a lot of people have a bone to pick with them for the whole going back to Junior Worlds thing. I also have a bone to pick with them.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say about that because I don't have a bone to pick with that. I think I'm
I do. Especially with them saying in the mix zone, we want world standings points. You've just got more world standings points in this competition than you are going to get winning Junior Worlds. So there is 0 point you going to Junior Worlds.
They're saying that. No, you're missing the point. The world standing points is irrelevant to them.
Yeah.
It's a huge payday, Junior Worlds.
True. Yeah.
It's money.
Yeah. True.
Like, this is
I also saw a couple of junior pair girls posting on their Instagram stories, why are there seniors at our event?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go on, speak out.
I think that the ISU made a mistake raising the ages in the pairs for both partners to 21 because to me that's
23 in pairs.
Very, very like not junior. And that makes the window 13 to 21. And in a pair event, that's like an adult, like that's a coach and an athlete.
Yeah,
like very clearly.
Yep.
And it's way too
At
much.
the very least,
I think they're taking advantage of a system that benefits them. And I just think everyone, we can always like get angry about it, but like I think everyone in that situation would not turn down the 40,000, whatever it is. It's a lot of money. They come from a small federation. They live in Russia, where their currency is nothing at the moment. The rubles are not doing anything. So for them, I think if $40,000 or whatever it is, I'm making up a number. It could be 10, it could be 15, but whatever it is gonna benefit them. I think, you know what, if nobody else is really stepping up to the plate, which I'm fine with saying I don't think the junior pair event is as strong as it should be currently. Why not? I would do the same thing. It's money. Like we don't make money in the sport.
I don't mind them doing it so much as I think that the rule should be changed. That
100%. The rule should be changed regardless.
Then they shouldn't do it. So it's not like
it's easy to just say if you have podiumed at a senior event, you are not allowed to go back to junior.
I completely agree. I think it's wrong, but I don't think they're wrong for doing it.
No, yeah, they're just taking advantage of the system.
Totally.
And they will until the ISU change it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's so strange that they haven't this open thing that you're allowed to do that. Because to me, it's like also like you can only do the junior Grand Prix or the senior Grand Prix, but you can do Junior Worlds and Senior Worlds.
You can do Junior Worlds and Senior Worlds, yeah.
Like out of all things, like I'd be more okay with the both Grand Prix.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you're an Adam Hagara or somebody where you're the one strong skater of your country.
Totally. But Adam has also been doing both for a while, and nobody's had a problem with it because he's not taking a senior medal. So I just think everyone needs to like calm down a little because this has been done for years and years and years. Shaidorov did it. Like everyone's done it.
Yeah.
It's just because they're so dominant in the junior event. Yeah, exactly. I remember Nikolai as Grand Prix champion going into it, and he wakes up one morning and all of a sudden the silver medalist at Skate America Grand Prix final competitor is coming back to do Junior Worlds. Nobody had a problem then. Nobody said anything.
I think a couple of people did, but
People
it wasn't
did say
nearly
it,
as
but it
vocal
wasn't
because
as
it's because people like Japanese skaters, and maybe a lot of people don't like this pair team. But
yeah, this way.
Yeah,
I saw Claudia's note in the are very excited about for Poland, and that was one of the two teams that were off the podium that I really wanted to talk about because
They're great.
I think they are doing so well. They're really climbing. I did an interview with them here, which was very fun because they're very like open, expressive people. And yeah, I'm super excited for them. And their short is actually one of the ones that I really enjoy. I love how it ends in such a high energy way. And she's just like sitting on his shoulder, being like, yeah, like, it's so fun.
They're doing like the bows there as well, like at the end of the program. They're just like bowing while she just sat on
It's a really good program. What's their update on the passport situation?
They're optimistic. I guess Poland
because
is
that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
For Team Poland, Team Poland's missing a lot of passports, from what I'm aware of.
Yes.
And also, what is the update on Nikita's passport?
Nikita Volodin?
He's learning German.
He's learning German.
And are we optimistic that he's going to hold that passport?
I think they're looking for like autumn time.
That would be amazing.
It might be coming through.
I'm like fingers. I think Nikita's possible, but I wouldn't put 100% on it. I think Yulia's in the same position. I think there's other teams and other people that they're like, yeah, it's not going to happen. Like Alyssa.
Yeah, Samoylov doesn't have one either.
Like,
no, Samoylov, I'm pretty sure that's like, I don't know, you getting a passport for Poland, like that. He has no ties to Poland.
Yeah. He is trying to learn Polish. We had a conversation about it, but yes. I think it's interesting.
But I didn't think, is that it? Like, you just have to learn the language and then you can get a passport. Like,
it might be about spending time in the country as well, because I know Sophia Deval from the ice dance team got her citizenship in December, and they train in Poland.
My understanding is that Poland is relatively on the easier side among countries.
Okay.
And that the Polish Federation is very supportive of these skaters and really trying to, like, it was interesting to see that I really got the sense from the Polish team that like there's not as much of that, like, you know, I feel like the Hungarian team for a while was having a lot of infighting about like who are the real Hungarians. Like the Polish team seems to be like, we're all Polish, even though maybe only 1/3 of us like were actually born in Poland. Yeah. But like it was interesting to see kind of how their team chemistry seems to be bridging all of the different places that their team is from. But I felt very optimistic talking to them because they seemed optimistic about it. And Yulia has been through this, like, born in Russia,
before,
grew up in Switzerland, skated for
then Hungary,
now in Poland. And the way she was talking about the Polish Federation and the support that they give their skaters as human beings and not being so like, you have to win medals right now or we're going to ditch you. Like, it was one of the, you know, everyone's like, oh, I love my federation. I got the sense talking to her that she was like that, and just to both of them, that it was like, actually, like, somebody seems to be doing something good in the Polish Federation. So I will take that one piece of evidence, but it seemed like they were in a pretty good situation.
Yeah, I do wonder how much the upcoming election is going to affect it. And I wonder how much the US election is, because somebody pointed out that like there's some strong changes happening.
I don't even know what's going on with the Elisa Efimova thing. Like, because like there was an interview like with the Olympics website where they were like saying like they were aiming for the Olympics, and I'm like,
Can I just say that the United States passport is not something easy to obtain? Christina Carrera has been living in America for 6 years. She is not in any closer than she was 2 years ago, which is awful. And I hope that changes, because she's lived in America and paid her taxes and in America, and she has to drive hours to get to the rink every day. But
goes over the border every day to go to training.
I can't imagine that a Russian trying to get an American passport, like that combination doesn't exactly work in America.
Not unless there's more marriage fraud going on, and even so, it's going to be.
And they have enough.
There's rumors about that, but I'm not going to get into that.
Like, that's a mess right now.
Yeah, the whole thing is very messy. Though who knows? This current administration is certainly more pro-Russian than the previous. So anyway,
and then I'd like to see like if Trump is going to follow through with, not to get into politics, but a lot of these like claims that he has. Then is America going to be banned? Because he said a lot of things that should ban them if he follows through with it, but that would never happen. So.
Yeah, I mean,
then you have the new Swiss team who have so much potential, but there's no way in hell they're going to get to the Olympics because Switzerland is one of the hardest passports you can possibly get. So Tom's not going to get that.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Yeah.
The pair event is just riddled with passport problems. I just like, even from Ice Lab, it's like the Finnish pair, he's not going to get it. The Icelandic pair.
Yeah, they're not getting it because he doesn't live in Finland.
Like, who has a passport?
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting for the jumping into dance, but the Swedish dance team were like, we're working on it, but their goal is 2030. Like, that's like their mindset, they're just is
up front with it.
Yeah. Because they're like, she's paying taxes, she's going to Sweden as much as she can. She's paying taxes there. She's got a Swedish phone number. Like, we're working on it, but it's going to be probably not this time. That's not the goal. So,
I was going to say with Johnny, a team that doesn't have a passport problem, Anna and Luke, who had a great time. Yay! Apart from the fall they practiced. They had a great result here.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Luke and Anna?
Okay, let's talk about Luke and Anna, and then let's talk about.
I'm so proud that they are finally getting like recognized by the judges, because it felt like at the beginning of the season they kept coming out with great performances and just weren't getting the PCS and weren't getting rewarded at their Grand Prix. And finally, the judges are kind of like taking notice of the massive improvement they've made. And obviously, the free skate could have been better, but considering the fall she'd had earlier that day, I think forgivable. And as long as they continue to improve and have a good Worlds, Olympics bound we come.
Yeah. It's so exciting. It's been really interesting watching them over the years, because you really see how long it takes for a pair team to become a pair when they're both starting from scratch. Like, it's one thing when you have one partner who like already has the skills, but like Luke had to learn how to do all the lifts from scratch. They had to learn their twist timing from scratch, so it's like, and so for a while it seemed it was messy, and now it's starting to all click, and it's taken that long. So it's cool to see it finally pay off for them. I've really loved both of their programs this year. I think they're finally also kind of clicking into a style that works for them better. And yeah, I'm fairly hopeful for Worlds. I felt like, again, because I may have to leave before we get into all of the disciplines, I was just going to say, like, British team doing really well. Like, women pairs dance.
Team GP really showed up.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
it could have been a slightly better free for Edward.
You guys are going to get a team spot here. And I love Ed, and who had a very rough free skate here. So I'm not counting him out either. But he was the one who was struggling.
That men's cut for Worlds, we'll talk about that later. That is going to be a bloodbath.
Yes,
bloodbath. And assuming I'm already thinking about that Beijing event, what that's going to look like. I'm like, there's 6 spots. One's Russia. There's 5 spots. Now we're getting the what country's qualifying a second, what country's qualifying a third, and then who's making the free, who's not even getting the world min. Like, that event is going to be nuts. Based on like what we're thinking, the cut for the frees looking like it's going to be around 73, 74 this year for Worlds, which is the highest it's ever been, which means that for a lot of those boys, one mistake, no free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Vincent turned up last Olympic qualifier and was injured and missed the free skate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So he just needs to be drilling those short programs, Ed. Like, and honestly, nobody's gonna hate him if the free's messy at Worlds, because we didn't really overtrain it.
Yeah.
We make the free, we celebrate.
Yes.
We're like, yeah, here we go. But that short program, every like 2 a day.
worst comes to worst, even if he doesn't, they can get the allowance for the extra spot if the women potentially make
Absolutely.
it, and then obviously pairs and dance do. You can get the extra spot to go to the team event.
Yeah.
Last thoughts on pairs. I just wanted to say, I do feel so. Anik and Rob had not ideal training coming in, but they were also very frustrated with themselves. And then I also just wanted to say I feel for Maria. We can go back to talking about them, but I just wanted to say I also feel for Maria and Alexei, because they've now been fourth a bunch of times in a row, and this time it was by the tiniest of margins, and I could just.
And I would have probably given it to them as well.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, so they'll get there eventually, and
yeah.
Not that they were perfect or any. I'm not saying it was the wrong scoring or anything, but I was just like, I was feeling for that.
It felt like to me a lot. Maybe this is just like my preconceived ideas. It felt like a lot of people were taking this Worlds very personally, knowing that there is that impending thought that Russia is returning, and taking that gold spot in a lot of the disciplines. 3 almost guaranteed world or the titles for the Europeans. So to me, it felt like everyone was trying to like get on that win, get on that podium, because it was like, you just don't know what's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful for them. I just think that they need to be a bit more personable. They seem still very cold. And I feel like that's not helping them, because they have some of the best material, or not material, sorry, the best evidence.
Yeah.
They just
and then also he has a back injury this year, which has derailed that.
You have a passport?
Question.
They were a bit iffy on that, I think, last time they talked about that a while back, because she got handed one very easily when
she was skating with a Hungarian boy at the time. Yes.
Yeah, so she was a Balázs, so she got handed one easily. And then they seem to get a bit more strict.
Going to be like 4 people?
I think he'll get it, but I think they were just a bit more strict about it rather than just handing one over.
So we're going to have some Italians. We're going to have Anik and Robert. We're going to have, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Anna and Luke, and that's it.
Yeah.
Podium right there.
Podium, I'm fine with it.
There we go.
Yeah, Laura also wants to know how you feel about the FICO program.
I haven't quite gelled with it like I have their programs in the past. I think it's like, it's an understandable direction for them to go in based on the kind of programs they put out, but I'm not entirely convinced by it.
I think if they can skate it really well in Boston, where hopefully there'll be a sold out big stadium crowd, I think the Boston crowd could really go for it, and it could end up being like a really fun, like sort of stadium rock kind of moment for them. But I think they have to bring the skating. Like, I think it's a program that isn't going to work unless the elements are working also.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts on pairs before we move on? We can move on to
I could talk about everyone, but let's keep going before I think of somebody else that I want to talk about.
Somebody stop Anna. Okay. Lois, can you read the podium for men?
Yeah, okay. Gold, we have Lucas Britschke. Silver, we have Nikolai Momola. And bronze, we have Adam Schauhenfar.
Woo!
Yay!
I have
what a men's event.
With this event, so just you're going to have to cut me off. I'm sorry.
We decided to put this one on second because we knew Anna was going to have to go at some point, and we wanted to allow her to talk about Dennis as well. So
absolutely,
I have thoughts. I have thoughts about people other than Dennis, but yes. Corey,
we are going to start with Dennis. I do believe that he was the rightful bronze medalist. In my opinion, I thought a lot of those calls were very aggressive. I just think that single Salchow in the short put the nail in the coffin. Because
coming from 12th onto the podium is
you pull.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost Corey.
We've lost your audio.
What happened to your audio?
We've lost your audio. Where have you gone?
Oh no. It's not working. You can leave and join again. Maybe that's going to work.
No.
No, it worked so well so far.
It was good. It was so good. And then it was like static. No.
He was talking too much.
They're bleeping him out. They're cutting Corey off. It's like in an award ceremony where they start playing the music. Hopefully.
Why did we go to the category? Okay. I feel like I don't want to say anything. Why not? We just wait in silence.
I feel like I don't know if I want to wait until Corey comes back to talk about how much Matteo and Nikolai were shit talking him in the kiss and cry, but yeah.
Oh no, it's still not working.
No.
What happened?
What is wrong with it? It was fine. No. No.
It's like really quiet. Do you have headphones?
It's almost like you've someone put you in a jar.
Yeah. YouTube was like, no.
You're muted now, so that.
What about now?
Yes.
We got you.
Thanks.
Oh. I feel like a child. I need to take a class or something.
You're fine.
We didn't say anything. We just waited for you.
Yeah. I'm only going to say one other thing about Dennis, or no, I'm going to say two more things about Dennis. One, the Latvian support there was crazy. I was so happy. I think there were more people waving Latvian flags than there were Estonians. So it was a great moment for the free skate, like live in that space. And those are the moments that I was just like, yes, this is why I love skating. I felt the same way seeing Nina's program. Like there were a few of these moments that were like, yes, this is why live skating is great. And that free skate was one of them. And not getting an invite to the gala for the first time in 9 years of Europeans, robbed.
Okay. What was I saying? I think I was talking about Dennis. Yeah.
Yeah, coming from 12th being too hard.
Triple loop seems to be a real problem. We've missed it many times now.
Yeah.
I think that's a stamina thing. So I would either move it before the step sequence or work on a way to take a breather before it, because it seems to continuously be just a stamina problem. But very pleased that he was able to go for the second sow. I haven't seen him really go for that very often. It's one of the best free skates of the year. To me, in the men's event, it's like there's that free skate and there's the Jun Hwan Cha free skate. And that's really in my opinion, the two pieces of art that you're going to really watch. But yeah, I thought he was the rightful bronze medalist. And then I'm going to say something controversial. It's biased. I don't care. I do believe that Nikolai won the European Championships, hands down, mainly because I think the short program was incorrectly marked, drastically.
Okay.
I believe that with that short program, 37 in components is a joke. It should have been 40, no question. I think that the Lutz calls are fine if you're going to attention it, but then why did we only do one in the free? No to the other two. Did the panel think that he was able to improve it after the first one? It's big question mark there.
That's confusing.
And then attention should only drop the GOE by 1 or 2 placements. And I believe that the opening quad Lutz should have received a +5. And I don't care what anyone else has to say. And he also received a level 1 on the flying sit spin in the free skate. That's
happened before as well.
That was wrong to me because they didn't even review it. And we've all rewatched it many times and it hits all the features. They didn't even review it.
I think he's just at a disadvantage with sit spins because of how tall he is. I think they think he's not getting down far enough, but he can't really get down any further. So I just think he's at a disadvantage with that, with his height.
His I can just speak from watching the boys train here in Italy. That happens every day. That clean free skate every day. It's like another one, and it's he's a machine to watch. him and his mom have prepared for this event like it was like a master class. Like masterclass. Short, like every single thing, getting off the ice, getting back on, preparing these letzes, the back-to-back. It was like, holy smokes, like how is this working? So to me, I had all my money betted on. I was like, he's gonna nail it. And I think he did. And I think in the free, the marks were correct. I think the spin levels, we're gonna yell at him for that. Don't worry. But I think he had the moment of the night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is the point where I struggle to be able to judge these things sometimes because I'm back and forth from what I see in the building versus what I see on the screen. And I had to watch both of Nikolai's programs on the screen from where he was in the rotation. And whereas I saw Lucas on the screen as well. Anyway, I was standing in a group of Swiss people while Lucas was skating, so that probably biased me as well toward feeling like he had the moment of the night. But I think he delivered. I think Lucas delivered a free skate that was clearly what the judges wanted, in that he didn't get, I think he was like almost the only man that didn't get any under rotation calls. And so I'm like, all right, well, Lucas, you were squeaky clean today. And that was what they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some fans who agree. Like, I mean, Corey's allowed to be biased, and I feel like a lot of people. But also has a lot of fans.
I just think like if you go element by element, I'm sorry, there's nobody close. Like you go quad by quad triple, quad double. Makes perfect sense to me. Second quad let's against a quad toe makes sense to me. The axle out of difficult steps, the axle out of no steps makes sense to me. Like to me, it's like okay, like I don't know, but like not to say I love Lucas's skating. I think I've connected more with other programs he's done. I don't completely get the free skate.
I think the short much better for.
Yeah, I think it's lovely. I think it has a voice that I just don't quite get. But that's totally fine. I think like he had one of the best skates of his career, undoubtedly. I just think that like what was performed right after him was like a masterclass of like how the IJS is scored.
Yeah, I've got to say that whatever order they were in, that 1-2 was really very rewarding, because it felt like these are people who are skating like at the top of their game, like in the moment that it matters, like the crowd is with them, like that's who I want to see win. And I thought that Adam got some generous scores for the free skate that he put out. And he was struggling here. And I think he did, the best that he could under those circumstances. But I think he got 2-time European champion.
Yes, I think it was very evident in this event who was prepared, who wasn't, who was tired, who wasn't. Like it was like very clear to me watching. It was like it wasn't a lack of potential from a lot of the boys, but it was like I watched Dennis and I said, he looks prepared. I watched Adam and I was like, he's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready to be here.
Yeah.
And that's like fine, because I think he thought that his not ready to be here would have been enough to win. I don't think he was expecting Lucas and Nikolai to show up as if this was the event.
Yeah.
That was very impressive to watch. I don't worry about Adam. I do worry about him in the mix for a world medal, because to me, I believe that June and this progression he's taking this year and with that material belongs on the Euro podium. To me, we watched him at university games. Literally, I was at the boards watching after I was finished. I said, this is like, even he skated before Yuma. And I was like, this is better. This is simply better.
Yeah.
I'm
not in love with Yuma's programs this year.
It's like, I love.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be really
And then you have people
exciting.
like Samoilov and Igadzi who are up there in the short program, and they just it's a mental kind of block of they're just like they're not ready to be in that position, like fighting for the top of the podium. There's just a crumble that happens when it gets to the free skate.
The quality of their skating is just not comparable to the others that are in that final group, and that's just, it made sense for where they were in the short program, but like in my opinion, it was right that they would fall down some there. I mean, fall down the scores, not falling on the ice.
not literally fall down.
Just before we leave Adam, I want to say that not only was I happy that he took the backflip out of the short program,
the slide is lovely.
The slide that he does is so
gorgeous.
cool. I was like, this is,
so much better, so much more effective.
Yeah.
This is so much more creative and so much more choreographically interesting, and like, yes, so big fan of the slide.
We know I'm a short backflip hater because I don't understand doing a backflip to SOS. I don't care if it matches the lyrics. It doesn't match the theme of the program.
3 other like random off the cuff comments, like they're kind of controversial, but whatever. I think that Cornell, the Polish boy, he does a choreo sequence. That slide is insane. Moment of like that first whole half of the event. Whoa, so cool. Such an interesting program. Big fan of that.
I was really glad he was here. I was really glad he managed to squeak into
totally. And he has a passport.
Yeah.
He has a passport. I'm gonna throw that out there. So yeah, like somewhere
if Samoilov gets the spot, then Cornell can take it.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah.
And then I thought Adam's breathing in the middle, deduction.
I hate it.
I would have raised deduction.
You're lying on the ice. That's supposed to be a deduction.
Your choreographed breathing, that's also an interruption to me, because if you stop moving for 5 seconds or something, it should be considered an interruption to the program. I would have considered a deduction. I'm deducting for composition because it's clear what you're trying to do. Like take a choreographic break in the middle. And to me, it's clear because last season he must have a problem with not wanting to do a spin in between the jumps, because last season, if you remember, he did all 7 without spinning before. And that's fine. We can find a way to do a choreo sequence. We can find a way to do a step. There's many things that isn't lying on the ice and breathing.
Yes.
I don't like that. And sorry, the last one is also negative, but I thought it was really disrespectful what Kevin did.
I think that's been a problem before.
And there's nothing wrong.
I think he's got slightly better at it. I think, especially in the short program, there was a moment where he was giving up, and the crowd started cheering him on, and he went, "Okay, I've got to put it back together and carry on."
I think there's nothing wrong with
it's happening too often.
Yeah.
Like, raise your hand right now if you thought that the second axel was going to happen. No, a double axel would have been lovely there. A beautiful double axel. And a triple sow after, and a triple toe. There wasn't a point to just, like, to me, it was like almost like insulting to himself and his preparation to just go and do that. And so many people showed up to watch. I don't know, like, those weren't mistakes that are like, oh my God, he took a bad fall. He was almost like taking off, preparing to fall. Like that first axel to do almost a full rotation missing. Like when they slowed it was 3/4 missing. I was like, so that means you're taking off, and the sensation is you just relax and prepare for impact. It was like, what are you doing? And if you're not going to go and put in any effort, there's a lot of great French talent sitting at home, like a lot of great young French talent. And I just found it.
Francois Pitot.
And I just don't think that we should coddle performances like that.
Okay. I'm not sure that effort is the right way to, like, whether or not he was prepared, whether or not he should have, withdrawn, whether or not he should, any of those things, I don't know. But like, I feel like when someone has a mental block the way he clearly does, I'm not sure that effort is like, I feel like he's trying. It's just he gets out there and it's not.
I agree to disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
The falls are also just so catastrophic when they happen that it not only like is shaking him, but it's shaking the audience as well.
You don't have to fall like that.
Yeah.
As someone who jumps and falls every day, You don't have to roll. You're choosing to throw. I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways and ways. It's like the first thing you were taught. It's like when we watched Pogarelaya and she rolled.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Pogarelaya.
Yeah.
And I just think he would have been way better, like after he like did the first or second mistake, to just do what you're good at and not try and kill yourself. Because I think that the judges are going to start getting, it's hard to judge you when it's like this. When it's 190 and it's one of the greatest. His Skate America performance was one of the best of the season. I will watch that. I love that free skate. I think that free skate is to die for. But I think you can't do that.
And they're still giving him the PCS,
Crazy
even in programs where he is giving up.
Which,
like I get it, he's an incredible talent. Stop giving him the PCS. Stop rewarding him.
That's one of those things where the skating skills and the performance should be wildly different in some of his programs. But I did want to say on a positive note, because I have to jump off in about 5 minutes, that I really liked Mateo's new free skate.
Stunning.
I think it was not 100% here, but I could tell it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's really an interesting, unusual music choice. Like I'm into it. And I also have to say that basically Nikolai and Mateo spent probably 2/3 of the time they were in the mix zone talking about how they missed you, Corey, and how they missed you being there as a skater, but especially they were definitely teasing you for not being there as their emotional support.
I was thinking of going, but then it just didn't. I have to compete in 2 weeks, and it was just like a lot. But we are this little family. We have lunch together. We warm up. It's very cute. We all nice. Live here. It's I got so nervous watching them, and I was upset for Mateo for the free because I know how much he wanted to debut it really well. And this is if you notice, the shirt is a costume that he did when he did Volare in 2019 with the red pant, and now it's black. I'm trying to get him to not wear gloves, so I'm trying to. I'm working on it.
There's an emotional vulnerability that comes when you're not wearing gloves that it shows up differently. Yeah, I'm on board with that choice.
I'm working on it. And it'll be this will be his free skate next season.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to see all these traditional classical music coming back for Olympics in Italy, because I think everyone in skating really wants that to come back. And there's so many people like Brishki. I would love to see him do an opera. Oh my God. His skating is screaming like Giuseppe Verdi. I can see a Traviata program. I'll pay for it. I don't care. I want to see it.
I want at least half of the men's free skates to have no superimposed booming and crashing noises. That's my goal.
Oh God, yeah.
Breathing. That's always the Dune fake breathing gets me every time.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to jump off. So I'm going to tell you very quickly my top 3 dance and my top 3 women, because I thought that Lara Naki-Gutman short program and Anna Pizzetta's free and Nina's free were Petrokina's free. I thought were that moment was so good. I felt like that was the thing that everybody in skating wants you to have. We want skaters to have that moment, the home crowd, last to skate, everything comes together. It's so wonderful when it happens. So I'm super thrilled for Nina, and now super curious about the Italian spots for Worlds. But and then dance, I thought that the Tashlers were deeply underscored in their free skate. That was one of my favorite programs that I have seen all year. And I thought they skated it so well. There are moments of just where they channel all of their power into just stillness and holding a pose. And it was so good. And the Finns, in my opinion, should have been the bronze.
Yep.
so on that.
And-
Oh my god!
We'll get that to when we get to dance, but yeah.
Okay, so anyway, that's just I just had to throw out those opinions at you, and now I'm going to say goodbye and nice to see you, Corey, and nice to see everybody.
Have fun at your dinner.
Have
Bye
fun.
bye.
Yeah, enjoy.
Bye.
People have a lot of questions. They want to know if Nikolai and Matteo do their hair together.
No, I don't think so, but we all did. Nikolai did buy a new gel before he went, and I made a joke that you could like knock on it like this, like it wasn't gonna move. And also, like, I was kind of impressed because that's a lot to like. That's like a hurricane to go through a free skate, and it didn't move. Matteo, I didn't know he was gonna do that actually, but I think it was very like classy. I liked it.
I love the inside information, the insider tea.
Before we move on, there's the
someone on Twitter said Matteo had more scalar levels of gel.
Oh no!
At least not the leather pants.
There were some comments about Corey at the World University Games before as well. That was,
I highlighted that. I wanted to do it at the end.
Claudia.
Oh, sorry. Claudia said she saw you.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you so much.
And your free skate is
it was a very beautiful skate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So sweet.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very fun event. It felt so grand, and the audience was insane.
Oh, I unhighlighted it, and now I have to find it again. So this is going to be up on screen for a bit until I find the comment. Oh,
okay. Trying to think of any other comments that we can like end with a positive in the men's event. Let me like quickly run through it. I think young Selevko, incredible quad loop. That was a big shock. Love to see it. The rules are to die for. I think he should play around with some different layout ideas just because I think it's a bit bold to start with like those two huge elements. I would almost like do like the loop, easy jump, like for him, a triple axel, go do the toe. Like I would kind of just separate it just for his mind. I know he tried 2 quads in the short at his national championships and that went well. So I'd be curious to see if he's going to try that one more time. I'm interested to see who's going to get the world spot between them because a lot's banking on that world spot. Someone has to be in the top 10 so that both brothers can go. Because let's be real, we all want both brothers at that Olympic Games. Like we all want it.
I think it's probably better to send Mihail this year because I think he's been more consistent of the two.
I'm curious how all that flying back and forth to
Alexander
Boston.
Obviously got European silver last year, but
I know he's in that long distance relationship and they're always flying. And maybe before Worlds, like
I mean, I think they also both train with Raf occasionally as well, so that's probably part of the traveling.
Yeah. I'm trying to think other men that really like stood out to me. I loved old Alex, like old Selevko. Sorry, I have young Selevko. He has such an incredible short program. That David Wilson program is incredible to watch. I'm trying to think. Daniel, I guess we could discuss Grassel because I think that was a big shock for everyone. I think everyone would have assumed a medal position going into this
until
event.
we all saw Shinamano was going to be on the tech panel.
And then we were sitting at lunch, Matteo, Nikolai, and I, when we saw that, and we all laughed, and we all discussed strategy for the 2 boys, like what you're doing on practice, where you're doing it. We were like, Nikolai's only doing Lutzes on one side of the ice. Like it was very like, Shin is the hardest men's collar in the world. Like there is no one else. So I'd be curious to see I know he's going to take a couple weeks off now to go back home to try and like rest. He just looks very tired. Daniel, he is going to Worlds.
I
So
I wouldn't want to. Oh, is he? I was going to say I wouldn't want to be the Italian Federation making choices.
No, it's very clear. We have your top 2 scores before nationals plus one event after. So it's all added up. So going into this, he was a lock unless the boys were able to beat him by 40, which is almost impossible. Yeah. And then Nikolai and Matteo were also like competing. I believe Matteo had to beat him by like 18 or something like that. And then Nikolai even extended the gap further. So our team will be Nikolai and Daniel. And it'll be like fun to see how Daniel's preparation goes. If he's still going to go with the 2 quad layout in the short, Is he going to go for like all of them in the free? Like, is he going to move things around? I don't know. Like, I'm just interested because he had such an incredible start to the year and he just looks a little tired.
Yeah.
So I think he definitely needs a little bit of time.
Do you think he would not do World Team Trophy?
No, it's money once again.
True.
It's a big payday. Huge payday.
But technically, isn't that like a payday to the federation? And then the federation obviously will like.
No, it goes directly to the athletes.
Does it? Interesting.
Yeah.
I think everyone, do they not take a percentage?
I'm not sure. If it is, it's very minimal. Like everyone, like you get, like, and Italy will be the supposed bronze the event. So
potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, Korea won't be there this year, so.
Yeah. So we'll see.
How do we feel about this? They can get the third Olympic spot.
We're very hopeful. It's going to depend on, I hate to say it, but it will depend on Daniel's calls. Because Nikolai, if he skates in form, will be around it should be in the top 6. And Daniel, bearing not getting a call on every jump in the short and every jump in the free, should also be around the top 7. So it would be amazing if that happens. So I think that's on their minds for sure.
Okay. Any more highlights?
It'll come to me later, unfortunately, when I'm in bed.
That's okay. You can go back to them. But I love to have a different brain, because we are like, it's illogical to go to World Team Trophy, and then it's like, no, it's not. It's money.
Yeah, no, like, no, like that's like the big thing.
Yeah.
Okay, should we go to the next category? And then whenever you think of something else, just talk about men.
I've entirely forgotten which order. Okay, we're on the women next.
I think so. Yeah, women next.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Itsumi, can you... Oh, no, she's gone. We lost her. So I will...
we lost Itsumi.
I will try not to... She was like, no, I'm not going to read them. In first place, we have Nina Petrokina. In second place, Anastasia Gubanova. And in third place, Nina Pizzarone. I hope I didn't butcher that too much.
I think you did. Yeah. It's incredible, but like Gubanova always manages to lock in for Europeans. Like, she did not have a great start to the season, but like whenever we get to Europeans, you can guarantee she'll be on the podium.
It's a huge event for the European skaters. It means, I believe that it means more than the 4 continents, like for the skaters, because you see a lot of the time that athletes in the 4 continents withdraw. You don't see that happen very often in Europeans. It's very rare that someone isn't going to go. Like, for example, like you see Ilya miss 4 continents almost every year. Amber miss 4 continents.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's very common for the 4 continents, but the Europeans mean so much. And I think for her, it means so much because it's a huge event that she is in the mix to win every year that Russia is in attendance. So I think if there is an event for her to really like hunker down and show up for, it would be this one. She did a great job. I think the short was beautiful. I think the Lutz deserved a call in the short, which would have affected the placement of the short program. But you know what? Like, they let it slide. That's fine. They gave everything. They gave her some aggressive calls in the free, which they kind of made up for it. I did love the Pizzarone free skate. I'm just gonna, first of all, that's the dress of the year. That is to die for. She looks young, and then she wears that dress, and you go, "Oh, that's a mature skater." It's stunning. It's gorgeous. And I think those calls were really aggressive for her. But they were consistent the whole night.
Yeah.
And then Nina, obviously, she had the event of her life. And that's just like such a moment. Home event, like, this was like the time for her. Like, I almost felt like for her, this was like the biggest event of her year, because it's like for Worlds, like the podium is perhaps a bit more of a stretch. But this was an event that and it, like all the stars, it kind of feels like Kimmy in 2 years doing Euros in Switzerland. Like it feels like that kind of event, like when it's like in their home and like they can really like do it. It was a great, I wish she didn't have that little trip, but can I just say, I screamed when she landed the flip after. That takes so much mental strength and physical strength. And that would have made her so much more exhausted, because typically you would just coast into the flip and it would be very easy. She had to really work for that. And thank God she did. Such a moment.
I also think it's almost like an adrenaline boost though, with like, because it's not a fall on an element, and it's just like, oh my God, what the hell? You just have to like, just get back into it straight away. Just like, oh, I have to carry on, because at least you know you're taking a deduction, but you're not taking an element deduction.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else really. Well, I think it was pretty clear after the short program that had Anna skated clean, she won the short. She scored 62 points with a double axel in the short. Like that combination, she's missing about 5 points or 4 points or something. And the flip, she's missing around almost like 3-4 points as well. So obviously with the cleaner skate, it would have helped the PCS. So I'm still excited for her to do, she's doing the test event in 2 weeks here in Milan. So I'd love a clean short there. And I think she can break 70. Shame about the free because it started so well. Loop is not her favorite jump. She's very vocal that she does not enjoy this jump. And the Lutz, she was struggling
all around in this competition.
Yeah, she was struggling with a spiral going into it. And she had to like readjust. So it looked like she handled the situation very well, but it wasn't an optimal setup for the triplets. But I think she's in a great spot heading into Junior Worlds. Unfortunately, almost Junior Worlds is a harder event than Senior. Like it's stacked.
Yeah. Well, beating Mao Shimada is just like the most impossible thing in the world.
Yeah. Top 5 would be a good goal for her. And I love Lara. That short program, that Squid Game is the program of the year for me. It is so cool.
Yeah.
And as a skater, that step sequence, I can count on one hand how many people I think could do that to her level. And like, I would struggle to come up with names. She does one section where she does a 1 foot axel, which is a very hard transition to do. And then finishes it with like voguing after. It's like wild. I'd love to see her try a
very cool program
this year, because I do think she's going to need that next year in the short. Incredible though.
Yeah.
How different would the podium look if Luna would have been here? Luna Hendricks.
Interesting.
Depends on what kind of shape she would have been in.
Yeah.
And whether she would have kept the same programs that she debuted with, because they were not incredibly well received at Shanghai Trophy.
They're not at her level, is a good way to say it.
No.
The programs weren't at her level. With
they
Luna,
were almost like a mimic of previous programs, but without the heart.
With Luna, I find there's been a lot of like similar errors that don't get addressed that kind of interest me a little bit, like why nobody, like a choreographer is on her main team, but her toe is permanently turned in on a landing position. And it's like little things like that. I'm like, why is that not being like, I don't know. So I'm interested to see, because we're going to not see her this season. What kind of form I'm hoping, I'm as a Luna fan, that she's going to like show up next year on a Challenger series and be like a vision, like, whoa, like, and just take our breath away with like great material. I see someone just said,
I mean, I think ideally Nina gets the 2 spots at Worlds, and then Luna goes to Beijing and gets her second spot. I think that's
bearing in mind though that if the other Belgian girl though does make the free, nobody has to go get the spot.
I don't think she has world minimums right now though.
Oh, okay. So then
Jay doesn't have world minimums right now.
Then that's going to be
it might just be Nina.
A Luna Beijing could be a great material. Great, like I'm just going to put that out there, like great material. Like let's hope. I think that
ankle.
It'll be interesting also to see like if Russia will be permitted to do Europeans next season, or is that another opportunity for Luna to go back and win a Euros? Because if like a Petrosyan there, you're fighting for a silver. So it'll be interesting to see like how her season goes. But I do think for her, there's nothing wrong with just taking the season. I know she's had injuries, but I think she's going to come back next year like super motivated. Oh my God. I don't know, guys.
I feel like you should just sit in the front row, like comment on everybody's outfit and like everybody's performance and tell them what to do.
At the very least, you will be like quality control.
Let me look if there was like another girl that really like, because I really enjoyed the women's event. Like that last group was just like, it kept getting better. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, huge shout out, Julia Sauter.
Yes.
I am bad to say that I wasn't very familiar with her skating. Love her skating. Big fan.
Yeah.
That short program was stunning.
She's
so
just
mature.
Like the epitome of just like a mature woman skater.
Stunning to watch. Breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I think it was a tough event
Big
for
shout out to Kristen.
Kristen Sports did a great job.
Kristen coming 10th is freaking incredible.
Yeah. Like that's huge. And now they qualify 2 spots for next year, right? So that'll be like for me. So that would be great to see. Tough event for Kurakova.
Yeah.
Short program was lovely, which is all she needs for that Olympic quota. So I would just keep drilling the short program elements over and over. But I think the free isn't up to the standard of the event right now.
I'm glad she's not got the ears anymore.
But they were there on the practice. So I want to know what happened from the practice main ring. Who stepped in and
somebody
said,
take her aside and go, lose the ears.
we're gonna leave those on the boards for this one. I was curious. But
then it didn't come 3 years ago in juniors.
Years to be back. I think she also needs new material. I think that it's not at her level. These programs are not at her level.
Changed the short. I think I swear it used to have a slower section in it, and I swear it wasn't.
It did, right? I thought so too. Like a Camila Cabello.
Yeah, I'm sure they changed the cut of the music because I hated the slow part. I was like, "This is a fast program. Why are you having this?" I mean, I hate the cover that they're using. If you're going to do Let's Get Loud, just do Jennifer Lopez. But I think they changed the cut of the program because I hated the slow section they had. I was like, just do fast the whole time. I agree. So yeah, it seemed better.
I'm trying to think if there was like another huge standout to me.
Did we talk about Josephine? I didn't.
Josephine Taldegar's always a standout. I'm sad she didn't have the technical skate she was obviously looking for.
The Celine Dion project.
Yeah, like my dad watched her, like because he was watching Europeans, and he was like, I love her as a skater. And they were like, we go to another skater after her who doesn't have the same performance quality. He's like, yeah, that's not as good.
She has beautiful skin. Those like and hair, like they like, and she just went for like this like very natural, and I was like, she's very like good for her. Like, what's her skin?
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a shame she doesn't have the minimums for Worlds. Like a Worlds without Josephine is terrible.
Yeah, and they raised it now.
I think she's got a couple more competitions lined up, but it's going to be tough. She's going to need a very good short or free skate to bump up those minimums.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't speak about Kimmy.
Oh yeah, I feel so bad for Kimmy because I think this could have easily been a podium for her. I know she said in the mix zone that I think she's had pneumonia recently over like the winter break or whatever, and I think that just absolutely depleted her stamina when she got to the free skate. But yeah, It's a shame because I think gorgeous. I love her short program this year and her costume and everything. I think it's gorgeous.
I think the free needs. Oh, I can't. I'm not a fan of the free costume. I think it's giving more Pirates of the Caribbean.
I could see that.
Either. I would have gone with like a silk chiffon, like gold, like leaves in the hair.
Yeah, I can see that.
like almost braided hair and like very like ethereal, like Roman goddess, and less like warrior gladiator, like in the.
Yeah.
I just think it would have been like almost like a white, like a very like almost like she's this like Roman angel. I think that could have been really beautiful, and like the armbands and like the whole thing. Yeah, it's a little on the nose, but I think like she's still in it for Worlds. I just think she needs time healthy to train. And I know she's going to Art on Ice right now. So I think that's good because I almost think there's almost too much time to Worlds. So for her, this is going to like 2 weeks of Art on Ice. It's going to break it up. She's going to have fun. She's going to get to train other programs, like show programs. And then she's going to get back and like really hunker down for Worlds. So I just hope that she can stay healthy. Because I think she needs a good Worlds. Because last year she had a tough short program, stellar free. I'd love to see like a clean World Championships for Kimmy. And interesting, sorry, I was just thinking with why am I blanking? The other Swiss girl, she's lovely too. Who withdrew from this event. I'm trying to think.
This one is on you. Livia Kaiser?
Livia Kaiser, yes. She wasn't there. Is she going to be at Worlds? Hopefully she'll be better by Worlds, because if not, that would be Kimmy would then qualify a second spot that Livia would then have to go to Beijing to qualify, taking another one of those 6 spots from Beijing, which is already looking like there are no spots left.
A bloodbath.
Like if we go Russia, Belarus, because Victoria Stefanova from Belarus is
true. They'll send her without a doubt. Yeah.
Then we go like Olivia Kaiser. Then we go in Italy, Anna Pezzetta. Then we go Belgium. There's only 6 spots, and we have 5 of them are gone. So it's like that event is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It'll be interesting. But I love the last
anyone who has a drama at Worlds and doesn't make the free skate.
Yeah, it'll be a very nerve-wracking short program at Worlds this year. Then you'll see like a lot of frees, like those opening first groups are going to look like nobody trained a free skate, probably because they didn't, because they were just training the short.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Yulia Lovrenchik. I think I've been a fan of her for
from Slovenia,
juniors, but I think a few people kind of like noticed. A few people like noticed her for the first time. She obviously had that kind of like very metallic short program costume that like stands out to like a Kanye West like program or whatever. Yeah, she's a very interesting skater. Obviously, I don't see her like being in the mix for Worlds because it's going to be hard to make that free skate. But I don't even know if she has the minimums yet. Actually,
should be going to
yes, because she is the main Slovenian skater. But yeah, I think she's got a lot of promise. I think she's going to Junior Worlds, so hopefully she gets a good final Junior Worlds there, because I know she's aging out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Laura asking if Serena Hughes is injured. I don't know. She hasn't competed much this year. She probably has something going on.
Something with the health, I believe.
Yeah.
But we're hoping for a great recovery. Italy just got the 3 spots for Euros. So it would be lovely to see her back, because I really like her crown free skate where she puts a crown on her. Very classy.
Yeah.
Claudia suggested a drinking game, 1 foil, 1 shot. I think we would.
I think everyone would die.
Yeah. I don't think you make it.
We were making jokes about stuff like that in the Anything G-Weeks group chat, which you can join if you join our Patreon. And we said that would be too much, but maybe every time somebody gets like a really bad level on a spin, you have a drink.
We will think of a drinking game. We are all over 18, it's allowed. And then we watch it together and have fun, hopefully. Yeah.
I think
Mia Risa Gomez had a great Europeans.
Oh, she was fantastic. Clean free skate.
Like she was amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing. I don't think I had her on my radar at all for like finishing that high. Like I think yeah, she's obviously been doing double junior and senior for a while. She's not doing junior worlds this year, as far as I'm aware. She's focusing on senior.
Training that
so
program.
She's definitely, she'll be going for that Olympic spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on to ice dance. And then if we think of anything else.
That shocked everyone.
Also, like the little factoids. Everyone was stunned that Lambiel had never won Europeans when I posted this fact.
I was like,
wait, he never won Euros? He came silver 3 times. I think twice to Plushenko and once to Thomas Werner. So
wow.
Yeah.
I would have never predicted that.
Yeah. So the first gold for a Swiss man since 1947. And then Nina Petrina was the first Estonian to win a championship.
Yay. Okay. Are you doing the ice dance podium, Lois?
Yeah, I do. Gold, Charlene Guinard, Marco Fabri, silver, Evgenia Lopreva and Jeffrey Brissot, and bronze, Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson. This is not the order I expected going into the event.
I don't think anyone did. And I would be shocked to have seen one person have predicted this correct.
I did have the French third in my prediction.
I did too.
I didn't think it would be second.
Yeah. I felt
like the momentum was with them. And there's obviously no home team this time, like we've had the last 2 years, obviously with Lithuania getting it last year and Finland the year before.
Yeah. I think it was an interesting dance event. I think a lot of great performances. I just felt like the marking was so not reflective of what the people were enjoying and the reactions of the skaters. Because some of the skaters thought they knocked it out of the park, then they got to the kiss and cry, and it was like, no. And then the opposite happened a lot too. And I just like wonder, like, at what point is it like, how many times can we all say that the Dune program is the best program of the year and it not win a free dance? Because it is.
I mean, the scores are getting higher and higher each time they go out.
They're totally in the right direction, but like, it is the best program in the ice dance event.
It should win composition without a doubt, because it's
by far
the best composed free dance.
That's not winning, because to me, hear me out, a component score is what you are able to do in the 4 minutes or 3 minutes while you're on the ice. The best skater in the world who has a bad 4 minutes should not receive great component scores, because in those 4 minutes, then you're judging it based on what you remember them as. But in alternative, a lower level skater who has a stellar 4 minutes, it doesn't matter that their skating skills in their practice sessions are not, but in those 4 minutes, what they were able to show. So that's why I'm like, that Dune free dance, maybe they don't have the same skating skills as like Chalk and Bates in a practice session. Nobody's denying that. But in that 4 minutes, it's the best program. No question. Or no, actually, I'll put the Finns up there too. The Finns.
Yeah, the Finns definitely up there as well.
Free dance is, oh my god.
Hell, both Finnish teams, because the chorus line one is freaking incredible.
Very fun. Yeah, so fun.
And it's good to see them get more rewarded this year. I mean, I love the Lithuanians. I don't love their programs this year in any way. I think it's fair for them to drop off the podium just based on the content. I've stated many a time, it's not that I don't like Lionel Lewis's free dance. I don't like the Halo section. I think the rest of it is fine. I don't think Halo matches their skating style.
No. When I first found out they were doing Beyonce, I found it in the off season, and my honest to God opinion was, well, expected. It felt very like Beyonce this year, Britney next year, Madonna, like we've done. And that's not a bad thing. It just felt like I was hoping for something unexpected. But then I got really excited because I thought, oh, we're going to have a single ladies choreo sequence. Like a choreo.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember being like, I cannot wait to see like them do the dance, like, and everyone to just like die. And then I kept waiting for it, and I was like, and then it didn't happen. And it was interesting because I thought that like out of all the Beyonce pieces of music, like those weren't the pieces I would have picked.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the costume I would have picked.
Yeah.
And it just felt like very like,
I think it set off on a bad note as well when they went to August qualifiers and both Lila and Phoebe were both wearing red dresses. And I'm just like,
a bit better.
And Phoebe's is an old dress from like 2 years ago in juniors.
Amazing.
Obviously, it's changed now, but like, yeah, it doesn't set off on a great note when the two top British teams are both wearing almost the same dresses.
Yeah, and Lewis actually made a comment that he said there's a lot of red and black in the last group, and I was like, oh my god, you're so right. Piper and Paul are doing red and black. Then Chalk and Bates in the short teams is doing red and black. The Finns are doing red and black. There's a lot of red and black going on.
Also, the French, it's kind of like a burgundy, but yeah, there's a red and black there as well.
If I were Lila and Lewis right now, I would like not go back to the drawing board because I think like we can still make this work. You have a lot of time right now. You slightly edit the music. Like
I've been begging them to edit that music all year. It's not happened.
Yeah, you have a DJ come in and rework it. You have such a big chunk of time right now. Brand new costumes, edgy costumes, because I don't understand the dinner gloves. The dinner gloves are giving, we're skating to My Fair Lady. And I love, like, she looks stunning. She always looks stunning. She looks to die for. I just don't understand what that has to do with, and maybe I'm missing a reference. That's totally fine if I am, and someone tell me if I am. But I think edgy
I know Lewis got a new costume for Euros.
Yeah,
one comment I saw from someone said it looked like he was wearing a trash bag, which I think is a little bit harsh, but
I just think like they just need to like shake it up because I don't know if this is like, it's not one of their best material, and in the event it's not one of the best free dances, which typically they always have this super big free dance. And I also don't know if I like the short costume as well. I don't know. Maybe they're just saving like, and I'm sure they are, the great ideas for
the Olympic season.
I do wonder how many people are saving things for.
Which has to be what Charlene and Marco are doing, because this just, I mean, I am not a hater of the robot program as much as some people are. I've had my issues with it, especially when it was going wrong around like France and stuff. I think it's looking more polished. I'm so freaking happy Marco finally got that lift up properly, because that's been giving me anxiety all bloody year. He still needs to sort out the twizzles. I think in terms of the way it's composed, it still works as like trying to get like the audience into it. Like apparently, like audiences seem to like the program, just fans don't. But they're not going to be doing this next year. This is like the fun last thing they do before they retire. They're just like doing something random.
The gorgeous, hopefully Italian free skate in their home city and just seal the deal. And I hope it's going to be gorgeous and stunning and show their skating skills and not be so steppy. It's very steppy, this free dance, not a lot of skating, very steppy, very choppy, which you have to do. It's a robot. And I think they were just a bit bored. Like, and that's totally fine. Like maybe they were just bored of skating to the classical, and this idea came and they thought, you know what, this is going to be fun and fine. And I don't think they were like thinking too far in advance. But like, we're just going to get through it and we're going to enjoy it. And we're going to try and enjoy it.
The costumes are a lot better now than
and then we're going to be so happy after World Team Trophy when we get to see the material. But we're just going to smile and we're going to clap and we're going to applaud the elements. That's
just going to get to the end of the season with this.
We're going to be like, they have such great skating skills. And we're just going to keep like, and they're really good. Yeah.
I totally agree that Barbara should call Maurizio to get him in on the packaging. I feel like there's like a little alliance going on there, because like I think it was the Italian judge who was very like obvious in the free dance markings in that they put like Lilo and Lewis down and any kind of Ice Academy of Montreal team down and raised up both Finnish teams, and it's just like
they skate like the Tashlers and the Morawskis, they skate. And to me it was like Euros was rewarding skating in the ice dance event, where it can feel like we are simply dancing on the ice surface. And I think you're going to get a lot of that at Four Continents, a lot of dancing on the ice surface. And I just love the Tashlers and the Mrazkis. They skate. It's wowza. Like, even on the screen.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait until Sheffield's next year when I can finally see what the Mrazkovi look like when they.
Did you not go to Sheffield Grand Prix?
Yeah, the Tashlers were there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
you said the Mrazkis. The Mrazkis.
Mrazkovi. Yeah. Yeah, the Tashlers are incredible. I just want to see, because everyone talks about how terrifying Mrazkovi are when they're just speeding around in practice sessions.
They're the fastest team I've ever seen in my life. It's insane.
Yeah, they're incredible.
And interesting about that free dance. Does anyone know about that? Because I heard like from the inside some like comments on the free, like why they had to change it, but I don't know if that's
copyright.
Okay,
yeah,
so
they mentioned it in the mix zone that the composer emailed the federation and said, "I do not want them skating to this."
And there was in
December.
There's a lot of zeros included if they continue to use it.
Really? Yeah, I saw some people commenting about that. That like this has happened in other sports as well. In that this guy.
But I love this new freelance.
Whatever.
It's okay.
I think it works well with Raining Your Black Eyes. I'm surprised how well it works. Like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. I was so into it. I was like, this is amazing. I know, why were the Tashlers so underscored? Here's my honest 2 cents, and this could bite me. If the event was marked blind, the results would be drastically different. And that's what makes the dance event so crazy to watch, because you watch the Dune free dance and you go, oh my God, this is like an Olympic moment. You watch the tango free dance and you go, this is insane. You watch the Tashlers and you go, well, they're the world champions, right? Like they must be the world champions. Like you're like, oh, so they won worlds last year? Okay.
Nope.
And it's like, oh no, they're not even like in the top 10. And you're like, now the math isn't mathing there.
Yeah. I always wondered how incredible it would be if you went back to like compulsories, but you did it in a way that you only had the camera pointed at everybody's feet and the judges had to just score it on
I just say I'm desperate to watch the pattern dance return. I need it to return in some sort of format. And it is a crime that they are making them do a paso doble to 50s, 60s, and 70s music. A paso is one of the most beautiful ice dance performances you can ever watch. Go watch the 80s. Go watch it. It is stunning. And you cannot do that to ABBA. You cannot do it to YMCA. You cannot. No. It is wrong. And
Anna went to the technical meeting at Europeans, and how I can't remember what they said the junior one was going to be next year, but it was convoluted and terrible, and it was a mixture of 2 different patterns, and I've no idea what they were talking about, and I was like, what the hell is this? What are you doing?
I would like
just
stop when it comes on, you watch like the Vancouver Olympics pattern dances or and it was stunning to watch. Like recently it was on my Explore feed or something. It was a waltz, some sort of waltz, golden waltz, something like that of Virtue Moyer.
Yep.
That I honestly don't know who in the ice dance event could do that pattern dance. The Tashlers,
maybe Lingerie and Laga as well. But well, obviously not Euros. But yeah, it's if you brought back compulsories, so few teams would be good.
And I would love to see it.
Yep.
I think we all would love to see it.
Yes.
In my mind,
like everyone was like, because there's been this rumor for a couple of weeks that they're going to have to get rid of the 21st century theme.
I heard
because of copyright next year. And everyone's like, okay, bring back the waltz then. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're probably going to do 90s instead.
Which, what even is the 90s? Like it's
Spice
like
Girls and Bewitched.
Like it's crazy to me. I would love to bring back pattern dance. Even if we only do one, but here's like this idea I have. Because also like it's hard a lot for the other disciplines to take the ice dance event sometimes a bit seriously, because it's like their event has become so structured, and so many elements are like things that a lot of the other disciplines are showcasing. So it kind of feels, And then both programs feel like a shorter version of the free dance now, and it's getting a bit all over the place. I would do one compulsory dance, original dance, free dance, but the compulsory dance, to add a little interest to the ice dance event, make it 3, and you draw the, like, on practice, like the day before practice ice, which compulsory. So the girls have to bring 3 costumes for the compulsory. And you have to draw, and the event can be won or lost from the compulsory dance, because if they're not good at the tango, because they're waltz skaters, it adds a little something.
I think
and then
they
it
used
adds
to
some
be
extra
like
training.
that back in the day. I think there was like
to me,
3 compulsory dances for the season.
So cool.
And you would just show up to the competition and have to do one of them.
I think it could be like really cool, and it would like the skaters without the skating skills would not be able to survive to the free dance. You can't bank on the free dance anymore. And I think an original dance with a theme, like those themes used to be so cool when it was folk. Like I remember when like Marilyn Davis did that Bollywood, and Virtue Moyer did like that Argentine, and like we saw all those cool like folk pieces, and then the free wide open. And that's when something like a Beyonce would hit hard, because it's like we just saw them do a waltz, and then we saw them do a folk tango or something, and then now in the free they're going to give us something really special. Because when everyone's doing like ABBA and disco in the short, and then we do like fun free dances, it doesn't hit the same way. I don't know. I'm just a fan.
Allegedly, there was some discussion about potentially bringing the waltz back in the future, but not in the classical sense that it used to be done. Like they might do it like with a movie theme or something. But yeah,
I'm interested. I just think like we need to bring the dance back to the dance event. There's also too many elements that they're not touching.
Yeah, it's just too. It's gotten too gimmicky.
And there's too many times where you could put a timer and count how long is the girl on the ground for. And you would find like 30 seconds, because like we're just acrobatically holding her around for the whole program. I don't know. Like I just love the vintage events. Sorry.
Yeah, I love what ice dance used to be. When I got into the sport, I love what ice dance was, and I don't like the direction it's gone in.
Because I think there's many events that, like, I think the men's event is like, it can be very mixed bag, but when it hits, it is still that the biggest event of the competition, and it can be so. And even the women's event, like now, because they're all much closer, it can feel really fun to watch. And the pair event you can be on the edge of your seat, and then you get to the ice dance event, and it's like your eyes are deceiving what the scores are giving, and it's just, it's a bit all over the place, and it feels like a big gala.
Yeah, essentially.
But sorry, oh my god, I just ranted about the ice dance event for so long. That's so not good.
I rant about ice dance every time I talk about skating. Shout out to James for managing to compete with food poisoning. I don't know how he did.
I love him. Love him.
I cannot believe he had to go to hospital after that. Like they had to go and check him out, because obviously like he was probably like so dehydrated or whatever. Just like, how did you manage that?
And such a good job too.
Yeah,
I would have never would have known.
You could tell when he was finished that he was wiped, but you couldn't tell while they were skating.
Yeah. They went back to America. They were training in Italy for a long time with Luca, and then they went back to America. I think for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then went right back to Euros. So I'm interested to see what they do with this big break. Are they in the mix? Sorry, I don't know, for World Team Trophy. Oh no, but sorry, one pair team, 1 pair, 1 dance. Sorry.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that myself.
It's 2 in the other.
I'm not sure if they are in the mix. I think they're quite far down the list still, but considering how tumultuous events are, you never know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other standouts. What other standouts do you have of the ice dance event?
I really loved Manny Roethlisberger's Titanic free dance. I think
Yes, right? Isn't it lovely?
I think the lifts are a little bit shaky and they could do with more ice coverage, but the composition of the program is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, very fun.
Really, really love that.
I'm a sucker for a Titanic program, and I know a lot of people are going to eye roll. I do love it. The music just hits. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I mean, like they're saying in the mixer, like people were a little bit like unsure about us doing this because like people do Titanic programs, but nobody ever does it in ice dance. And why not?
Right?
It doesn't make any sense not to do it in ice dance.
I think so too. I think it was very good. Let me look if I remember. Like I wrote down a couple things with each event. I think that the Lithuanians' material this year is a bit questionable. I think they're better than that free dance. And I think they were better than last year's free dance too. I want to see them do something great. I think they have it in them. And also maybe they're saving it for next year. I thought that...
I also don't like their rhythm dance, but that's because I really don't like Rod Stewart. So
no. And it felt like very similar costuming also to the rhythm dance last year.
Yeah, as Johnny said, happy to see La Gouge Confiscate. Well, I've been a fan of them for years. I'm not the biggest fan of this free dance, but the fact that they managed, like their first time doing Europeans, and they managed to recover from that wardrobe malfunction, which is I don't even know how that happened, because like the entire like neck of his top like somehow ripped off and got stuck to her. I don't even know how they managed that, but they just pulled it off and carried on.
The only thing that when I was watching the ice dance event that I was really thinking about was the cut for the free dance / Olympic spots is going to be absurd, because you have to think, you have 3 Canadians that are going to be taking 3 spots, 3 Americans, 3 spots. There is no question. Signed, sealed, delivered. Those are 6 gone. Then you have to think
which
Korea.
Americans are going to take those spots is a different matter.
Yes. Korea's on the bubble. We don't know. They're like in that question mark. China is on the bubble. Like they're also in that question mark. Like there's a lot of
China are making the team event. But...
yeah. There's a lot of those open countries. So that knocks, like only 20 will make the free. So only 20 will guarantee an Olympic quota. So also that Beijing event is going to be crazy, because I don't know how many spots there are. Is it 4 or 5 that make it to Beijing? But you're just taking 1.
I'm sure I have it here somewhere. I don't even know at this point.
No, don't worry.
So at Worlds, it's like... is this the total quota? It's like 29, 19, 23. 29 for the singles, 19 for the pairs, and 23 for ice dance. So
4 or 5, something like that.
We got 4, we got 5. We have like different options here.
There's a lot of people on the bubble. Like it's just going to be a very nervous short dance. It's going to be a nervous short program in all 4 disciplines. Like if I were anyone, and if you were looking to buy tickets to Worlds, go for the short. Go for the short, because it's going to be like, typically I would say go for the free, but the short's going to be like a bloodbath. It's going to be crazy. And there's so many people I want to see make the Olympic quota. So it's going to be like kind of sad. It'll be like we're watching like one of those like reality competition TV shows where someone goes home on the first night. And it's like, we're not going to see, but then they have a chance to like come back into the competition in September. I don't know. I would sell it that way, no?
You should be the commentator of all of it.
Oh God, no! That would be bad.
Who's going home after this?
I'm like very like in it.
You might get in danger with like.
I know.
The fans are going to be outside the box and be like.
Oh, for sure. I know. I have to like cover my mouth.
It's not outside of the realm of possibility that you could get both Finnish teams to the Olympics as well, which would be great.
Yeah, like that's crazy that we're not going to see them, or that there's a chance that they both might not be there. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I know Yuka is like going to go for the passport now.
Oh, she's also a passport girl. Like I feel like like we can.
I think she was on the fence about it because she has to give up her Japanese citizenship if she wants the Finnish citizenship, but she lives in Finland, so I think she just has to pass the language test.
Lois, can you make a
That's
table of like all of the passport teams?
I love this.
I will
Like a
have to do
list,
that. Just
and then
to
like you
have a
like
list.
cross one out. Like Deanna Stellato, top of the list. She's obtained it. She's no longer in the club. Next.
Worst thing is that like some people are getting their citizenship and they may not be going to the Olympics.
I know.
And
That's
I'm like,
tough.
because like Nikita Starostin got his citizenship in December, and I'm worried that he's not going to qualify a spot.
Well, the cut's 74, so he's gonna have to, well, assuming, sorry.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to have this.
The Philippines have obviously got their citizenship sorted for pairs, but they haven't even got the minimum for Worlds yet. So
The pair event and the passport, it's like the pair passport. Like you just have to like put that together. Like you're watching Worlds, but like who will be joining us in Milan?
pairs is definitely the worst for passports.
Yeah.
I mean, at least, you know, Olivia and Tim. Tim's not got it yet, but he will, because Spain just hand them out like candy. Like, you need a passport? Here you go.
Yeah. So we'll see.
When every man flops and the cutoff is like 62.
I know.
Don't
You never
say
know.
that. As long as Donovan does well.
Yes, he's also on the bubble too. So there's like a lot of people that are like on that like bubble. It's gonna be crazy to watch.
By what time would they need citizenship? Like, what is the cutoff for the Olympics?
I had the same question too.
I feel like Marcos Andron got his really late.
Okay.
For the Spanish team for last Olympics. I feel like it was like December, January. I feel like it's like right before.
Sarah said December.
Sounds right. December sounds right.
Yeah.
And then he had to get approval from like the Olympic Committee or something. I don't know.
Which I'm sure will come very fast. Like the Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if you have to have citizenship. So hear me out. Like I'm just speaking out of my bum right now. But for a lot of those countries on the cusp, like I'm just talking strategy here. This could be crazy, and you could tell me I'm stupid. If you don't need the passport to go to Beijing to get the quota for the country, can you make a quick phone call to like Russia? And you say, hey, can you compete for like Spain for the women to get us a quota? Like, is that allowed or is that not allowed? Because you do need a passport to compete for a country. That's it.
You need to be released, and Russia.
But if you don't compete for 2 years, you don't need a release.
Russia still have to approve you to leave because they don't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, at the ISU could probably get
different
involved.
Country, but like some like hear me out. Like maybe Russia, bad example. Is that allowed? Like, will countries be making a phone call and saying, "Hey, can you do us a solid?"
I don't know.
I
don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Like,
it'd be wild if they did that. But like, the problem there is like, obviously, you need a year between competing, and if you've been out of competition for, are you going to get the PCS to get a good result?
Yeah, I guess it's different in the. Yeah, I don't know. Just a thought, because like in Canada, for example, there is the girl. Like, let's say Maddie gets 2 spots, and she comes in the top 10. There is that girl, Ulyana Shirieva from Russia, who does not have a passport.
Yeah,
I would send her to Beijing to go get the spot, even though she
had a very good year this year, though.
No, she had a great Dennis 10.
Yeah, she didn't have a good nationals.
No, the singlets wasn't helpful in the short program. But like,
I mean, at this point, I'd probably send Catherine Medlin-Spence.
Or, for example, like in the pair event for America, like would they send Elisa and whatever? Like,
I don't think they can now because I think they're going to Worlds. So I don't think they can also send them to Beijing. But if they weren't there, then I think you could send them to get a spot. I think that would be fine. Yeah.
And
you don't have to send the same person who goes to qualify the spot.
Yeah. Only Russia and Belarus, yes.
Russia and Belarus do, yeah. They have their one person, and then they have their backup if something happens. But
I believe
they have to send the same person who competes.
It's next week or the week after, sometime in this month. It's
February, so it's soon that they have to submit. I still think they're going to submit people who are not eligible.
Yes, because the eligibility is very
strict.
But it is also very vague at the same time, in my opinion.
Yeah. But
nobody
I think
knows what does
people will kick up a lot of fuss if
what's being unconnected with the war. Does that mean you accepted an award from the president? But every country does that after Olympics. That's unrelated to the war. Like, what did you attend an event? Was the event like it's very vague. What does like what does that mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a way you could literally wipe out the whole team. There's nobody eligible. But there's also a way that I could say all of the disciplines, apart from maybe Stepanova Buchan, to me, I don't see how they could go.
If they submit them, they are dumb as hell.
They're like,
because one, they did not get to go in 2018 because he had doping issues, which were never properly defined. They wouldn't let them go.
And then there's also
and they went to a Putin event, and he literally did a post like praising the stuff he said, and he was like saying he was going to attack America or whatever.
Yeah. Then there's like the question with like the coaching involved with the doping scandal. Terry's already at the event with the Georgian.
Yeah,
Team Georgian.
But supposedly she can't be there with a Russian.
Dalia, can she put a different coach listed? Can she say that she trains and Terry isn't listed as her coach? Her coach is listed as Polina Tsurskaya.
Yeah.
Tatiana Taras. I don't know. Just throw a name.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Like, what does that mean? Does it retroactively? Oh, you worked with this coach before. Can she announce a change in main coach? Like, it's very vague.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting because we're all going to find out in the next month.
Yep. And then they're just going to spend all of summer apparently just like fine-tooth combing every single bit of their social media to decide if they can send them.
Totally.
But people will be upset either way. Like, people will be upset.
I mean, people are upset no matter what because they shouldn't be there. But
yeah, it will be interesting. Okay. Any more thoughts on ice dance? On men? On women?
There's always more
thoughts. World politics.
I'm trying to think like a standout. Like my moment of the event was Nikolai's free skate. No question.
Do you get
I will
nervous?
Quickly just say, like, the French team for ice dance, incredible event, coming second above. I mean, obviously they finished 6th at the Grand Prix final, and Lila and Lewis finished 3rd. So to go ahead of them at Europe is an incredible like achievement. And their content this year is just spotless. Like Rasputin, amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And the free dance has been growing on me more and more throughout the season. I wasn't like a huge fan of it at the start of the year, but it's perfect for them. So yeah. Oh, also, yeah, I haven't seen much of the gala. I saw Nina Petrokina's sub-block tango. Freaking incredible. She
killed all the boys.
She just killed the entire Estonian men's team.
Yeah.
Just great.
Okay. I did ask Corey, did you get very nervous watching them? Because like I feel like can you?
Well, because I skate with them every day, I kind of assumed what we were gonna get. Nikolai's short program, calm as a cucumber. If he made a mistake, it would have been a fluke. It was it was perfect every time. I was like, I would have fallen asleep so easily the night before. Close one eye, close the other. Good night. But the free, I was nervous because like it's a big risky program, and you with the two Lutzes, you risk the rep, and they were super consistent. But like that was always in my mind. Like I was like the rep, so I was a bit nervous. But once he was done that, he doesn't miss triple axels. He does not miss triple jumps. Like those are fine. Matteo, I was a bit nervous because it's like new free skate. Like that's so bold to do and ballsy to do. Like a new free skate at the biggest event of the year.
Yep. And only just brought back the toe, which was
right.
Great
But toe's been very good in practice. So I was so shocked he missed it in the free. That was like shocking to me.
It was great the short, and I was like, don't do the loop because the toe looked great. No, and then he comes out and messes up the toe and then goes for the loop anyway.
The loop was in the short program till maybe Monday. So like, yeah.
I was like, no, don't do that. Especially with how the loops were going in the competition. Like the loops were terrible in the women's event. I was like, Matteo, take the loop out. Don't do the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura wants to know, Corey, do you have music picked for next year already?
Yes.
Oh,
I still have 2 more
nice.
competitions this year.
Yes.
But I am recycling some.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't want to, it's a big ask to come up with a new free skate and a new short
Yeah.
program. Like for our federation, our spots start September. Our season's wiped clean every year. So it doesn't matter how good you did last year, it's wiped clean. It's like a wall's
So the
put up.
opposite of the US system, which is
Or the
body of work.
Sorry, I can't say that. Or another country that body of work can be 4 years, 5 years.
The Bleep Federation.
Yes, but we do like it's blank. So it's like you have to do it starts from the beginning of the season. So I want to be as ready as I can and not take time learning a new free skate, learning breathing points.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. I want to just work on
You want to
elements.
have that consistency built in right at the start of the year.
Absolutely. And you'll see a lot of people do that. It'll be very
Yeah.
rare to see 2 new programs next season. A lot of recycling though. Like all the hits, the greatest hits.
Yeah.
It's like a fun year. I like it.
I like recycling when it's a program I've really liked. I still think last Olympics Piper and Paul should have done Vincent, because I think that program was incredible.
I am still on that wavelength. I feel like we're very on the same wavelength. I completely agree. I thought, up until the Olympics, they stepped on the ice for the individual. I was like, they're going to do Vincent. They're going to announce that they brought it. They brought it last minute in the final hour. And
it was my favorite freelance of that entire quad. I'm like, how could you not bring that back?
And they had the different costume for the individual, and I was like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna. And even when the music came up, I was like, nope, don't. And then the music started, and I was like, no. Yeah.
So, do you think they should continue?
I wonder if Conti Machi are going to do the program they did last year that they said they were going to use for the Olympics, because it didn't go very well.
I'll ask them. I won't let you but I will ask them for personal
information.
I know what the boys are doing, so that's it'll be good. You're gonna see a lot of war horses. How about that?
Yeah, a lot of Italian, a lot of war horses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we're good. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
We will let everybody go. This was so much fun.
We
so
slowly depleted in number of people as the streams got on.
Yes, people kept leaving. But Corey is still here. Thank God the audio started working again. That was so much fun. I didn't laugh this hard on any of the other live streams.
Sorry, Laura saying, I need more program suggestions from Nicolo's girlfriend. She had the vision with Carmen. I still think it's hilarious that his girlfriend suggested he skate to his ex with Carmen. It's still funny to me.
They are so adults. Can I just say that you would never know that they ever had any they're very impressive to watch every day, because it's and their partners come to the rink all the time, and it's one big happy family. Their girlfriend and boyfriend sit and watch the sessions together. It's whoa, these are adults being adults. It's quite impressive to watch.
I guess it's like Maddie and Zach, because they obviously were split up ages before they got real success or whatever, but our divorced parents.
Yeah.
Okay, I will let everybody go now. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to all of the commentators. I feel like we had a very engaged audience today and a lot of questions, a lot of comments. Please, if you feel like it, follow us on all of our social media sites, which are linked below, or what else we have. Subscribe to this, like this. Join us on Patreon.
And we will
you can join
see you after 4 Continents, I imagine, at some point.
Yeah. And also you find the GoFundMes and for the victims of the plane crash in the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely week. Bye-bye.
Bye.